just bear with us for another 2 minutes and we should be starting.
I think we have started.
It started, yeah. So, hi everyone.
Yeah, hi everyone. Vipra is just joining in a minute. So as we are already reaching a desired number and we've gone live on YouTube, I've just shared the link on the group as well. So Vipra will be just joining back. As you can see,
Okay,
she
so
has
I'm
made
here,
the
Nidhi.
canvas. Yeah, sure.
Okay, so I'm here. You can spotlight on my screen, which is on the table, so that we can start quickly. Meanwhile, I'm
Yeah.
sorting.
I think it's already spotlighted for me. I don't know.
Perfect.
I
Yeah.
hope.
Yeah, just ask everyone if they're able to see the screen so that we can start.
Okay, so I hope everyone can see the screen, which is this canvas, which is divided into 5 by 5 squares. If yes, okay. So we've got one yes. And also before we start, we would like to know from all of you, I mean, are you a first timer or have you done this before? So that accordingly we can guide you with this.
Yeah, okay. So I will start with this and I'll explain what we are supposed to do.
Sure.
Yeah. So welcome everyone and apologies for all the technical issues happening this morning. Maybe it's not the right time. So, but anyways, we'll start right now. So as you can see, we are going to do this painting of a Japanese bridge and a Japanese garden basically. And we are going to paint this with acrylics. As you can see, I've told you the canvas size as A4, and we are going to do this by the grid method. So a lot of you had this question about how we are going to do the sketch, or is it freehand? We're going to do this by the grid method and you should not face any issues. So I'll guide you stepwise with this. Before we start, I will tell you the significance of the Japanese garden. So the Japanese garden is basically known for its intricacy and the depth which is there. So you can see it's a beautiful garden and a lot of artists have painted the Japanese garden. And you see the bridge, it has a significance. So the bridge has the significance of moving from a human life to moving into peace and calm, which is all about nature. As you can see that when you move to the garden, you see water, you see birds, you see leaves, you see flowers and everything. So moving from the human life, which has a lot of stress and stuff going on in the background, but as you move through the bridge on the other side, you move towards peace and calm. So this painting has a beautiful meaning, and we are going to do this. So as I said that we are going to do this by the grid technique. And we're going to do this by a 5 by 5 grid. So basically, first of all, don't keep your canvas vertical. ऐसे नहीं रखना है canvas, आपको ऐसे canvas रखना है. You have to keep it like this. Apart from this, we will be drawing this. So whatever the size of your canvas is. So I know that different people are using different sizes. So I will just explain the concept of this so that you can create your own grid quickly. So just check this and this measurement for you in centimeters. And divide it by 5. आपको ये measurement देखना है और उसको 5 से divide करना है. जो भी measurement आता है, for example, this is for me, this is 30 centimeters. So I've divided that by 5. So 5 जब divide करेंगे तो it comes around 6 centimeters. So each grid, each measurement here for me is 6 centimeters each, right? Similarly, this is 20 for me. So divided by 5, so this is 4 centimeters each. तो आप क्या करेंगे 6 centimeters पे ऐसे points mark करेंगे. You'll mark points and then you'll draw lines. Similarly, जो भी measurement आपका यहाँ का आएगा divided by 5, you will mark points and you will then join those points in the form of these grids that you have got. If you have any questions, put down in the chat box and maybe you can let me know because I think the meeting has reached its full capacity. So I'm not.
Yeah, sure. Don't worry. I will answer all the questions.
Perfect. Thank you. So, yeah, so just feel free to put your questions and Nidhi will let me know, and that way I'll know that you're asking some questions. Yeah. So I'll just wait for everyone to do the grid for 2 minutes and then we'll be proceeding to the sketching part of it.
So meanwhile, Vipra, if you can just give us a few lines like on your how you started and how you could taking the classes and all. So
yes. So yeah, apologies, I did not start with the introduction because we got late. So meanwhile, we have time. I'll tell you about myself. My name is Vipra, and I am a contemporary artist with Catterfly, and I conduct weekend workshops right now with Catterfly. And we are doing some amazing themes. I have picked up artistic career along with the corporate career as well, and I'm working as an artist with Catterfly on weekends at the moment. Um, and about my work, I work more with acrylics and knives, and my niche is in knives. So I do a lot of knife paintings. We have created some beautiful paintings in the past, which you can also access through Classroom. So we are going to give you this, access through the Classroom to see all the workshops that have been conducted in the past as well. So you can have a look at them. And at the same time, of course, this one will be present on the Classroom as well. Soon we'll give you access to that. So yeah, that is all about me. And currently I'm based out of Scotland. And yeah, otherwise I'm from India. So that is all
Thank you,
about
Vipra, so
me.
much. Yeah, thank you so much. Vipra is doing a very wonderful job, and we have many people who are learning, and they were like, a kind of layman once they started. Now they are making beautiful paintings with their classes, and we will definitely let you meet a few of them in our tomorrow's session. And meanwhile, we'll just start with this. So during the period of time, I will introduce and I will give you more details about how the classes are conducted and what all we teach in those classes. Okay. So Vipra, we can start. I think
Is
someone is
everyone done
asking
with the
about,
grid?
yeah.
Okay. We'll start with the sketch then. So, okay. So I'll just number the grid just for your convenience, everyone. So you see the grid, it will be numbered like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So you see now you have the numbers, and wherever I sketch, you will be able to refer to that so that you can draw at the same place where I am drawing as well. Okay. So we'll start with the bridge, because if you see, that is the main component of the whole painting. And apart from that, the rest has all the trees and flowers, which can be placed later on. So we'll first do the main component. So let's start with the bridge here. And we'll be starting from this third row. And you'll just work through this. So start from the third row and start somewhere from here. So you have to see the placement. कि मैं कहाँ से कर रही हूँ, वहीं से आप लोग भी करेंगे. So I'm starting from here. I'm going to move this. So keep checking which grid I am sketching under, and you will be able to follow. So मैं यहाँ से start कर रही हूँ. I'm going inside this, going forward. Check from where I am turning and from where the line is passing. So see, in this particular part, you see this is more, this is less. तो ऐसे check करना है आपको कि कहाँ पे कितना space छूट रहा है, and accordingly you'll have to do this. So again, so that's our first line for the bridge. And if you see, the second line for the bridge is starting somewhere from, so at least the railing is starting somewhere from here, and then it's turning up into this part. So यहाँ से आप start करेंगे. Keep checking the number from which I'm starting so you can go right on this. And that's the second part of the railing. And then we are going up, and then we'll further go down with that turn which is there for the bridge, right? So you go from here, go into this, and exactly from here only. So turn properly on this part. You don't have to go up, but just turn from this part and go down here in this part. So you've got a basic curve of the grid, of the bridge. So that's the two railing on the top. Uski main line aapko mil gayi hai. And then slowly we will work on this to develop on the bridge. So again, keep referring to the number so that you know ki exactly kahan lines bane hain. Okay. Perfect. So just go ahead with this, and then we'll proceed more.
So we can see in the chat box, there are many first timers in this. So contemporary is, I know it's a very wide thing in which I think many mediums are covered. But with acrylics, I think Vipra is taking step by step. So I'm sure you'll get the proper guidance. But yes, any painting or anything, if you start new, it requires patience. So over the period of time, by repetitive doing these things, you will get to learn more.
Yes, that is right. So please confirm, someone saying, please confirm the measurements, I guess. There are no measurements in the grid technique. So that is the beauty of the grid technique, that you're able to do it on any size of canvas, and you're able to create this with proportions. And I think I misread the message. I'm sorry, I was just trying to log in. So this is confirm the measurements of the grid. So for the grid measurement, it is just individual measurement. आप जो भी canvas size use कर रहे हैं, according to that, just check on the length and the width. So for example, इसकी length है मेरी 30 centimeters. You'll divide it by 5. So you get 6 centimeter each. And for the width of the canvas, it is 20 for me. So मैंने उसको 5 से divide किया है, and it's 4 centimeters each. So ये सबके individual size के हिसाब से होगा. So you check your size in centimeters and divide that by 5. Whatever is the measurement, वो आपका individual measurement है grid का. Okay, so I hope it is clear to all of you. So that is our first line of the bridge. We'll go with the second one, and the second one is starting somewhere from here. So keep following along with me. It will start from here and it will end into this part. So सबसे easy तरीका है to manage this one, ये वाला, is this, make this line parallel to the upper line. तो ये जो ऊपर वाला line है उससे parallel आपको नीचे वाला line बनाना है. So you will make the lower line like this. Again, keep checking the numbers. किस number के नीचे मैं काम कर रही हूँ, तो आपको ज्यादा easily वो समझ में आएगा, and you'll be able to create the sketch properly. Okay.
Just
Perfect.
follow
So,
the instructions. I am sure you'll be able to do the same way. कौन से grid से शुरू किया है, किस grid तक ले गए हैं. You just need to observe and make your own thing.
Yes. So just if you follow the grid, your sketch will definitely be perfect. I can guarantee you that. So you don't even need the measurement for anything. आप grid पे बनाओगे, easily बन जाएगा. अब हम नीचे वाला line create करेंगे of the bridge. ये line जो है, ये भी parallel है to this one, and it's going this way, and it's just disappearing. Okay, so it has disappeared now. So you see there are two double lines here. एक थोड़ा सा thick है, एक थोड़ा सा thin है on the top. Again, keep referring to the place where I have made this, and you'll be able to do it. Now, ये जो यहाँ पे आके जुड़ा है to this part, you are going to join this one to this part like this. So it will be joined this way. In fact, this way to this part. Okay. So एक slanting line से अभी आप join कर दो. Of course, later on it will be more clear. अभी हम, since we are only in the sketching stage, maybe you will not be sure about where this line comes, but just do a random placement of this by seeing the grid की कहाँ किया है, and then later on we'll work on that and make it much better. Okay. So you've got the basic lines of the grid right now. Now through this we are going to do the pillars of the bridge. अभी pillars भी हैं bridge पे, तो अभी हम वो करेंगे, ठीक है? So the pillars of the bridge are, the first one is right here. That's your first pillar. And pillar को आप randomly बना सकते हो, आपको grid follow करने की जरूरत नहीं है. This is the second pillar. This is the third pillar. So let's make 3 pillars over here. Yeah. And in this one, we'll make pillars from here. Second, third, and fourth at the end. So 4 pillars यहाँ बना सकते हो आप in this one. So I hope you're able to see where I have drawn this, and that will give us the basic structure of the grid. Okay. Now, the best part in this painting is you don't need to define each and everything. So all you have to do after you're done with the grid is just create a line from here. जहाँ यहाँ पे अगर आपने reference image देखा होगा, तो there are plants right here, right? And there's river flowing here. So you just need to make the shape of that. So the plants are right on this little side place which is there here. So itna mark कर देंगे. We'll just mark this so that we get the shape of the river. ठीक है? तो सिर्फ ऐसे line, you'll just have to make this line like this. Leave it on your 5th row here in the corner. And similar to that, you'll take a line from inside of the bridge. ये नीचे से लेके आएंगे. We'll get it from the lower part. And you have to just take it back here. So again, keep checking at the grid कि मैंने कहाँ बनाया है उसको. Okay, so it just comes from here, just goes randomly. और आपको यहाँ पे grid exactly follow अगर आपने नहीं भी की तो बहुत easily आप उसको create कर सकते हो. This turn has to come for the river, that's it. Otherwise it can go random in this part here. Okay. Also, we'll make the lower part of the bridge. तो थोड़ा सा bridge के अगर आप दूर से देख रहे हैं तो bridge का lower part भी दिखाई देता है. It is visible. So the lower part of the bridge is also visible. And we'll do all the double lines and everything with the brush. We don't need to do a lot of sketching. Otherwise, we'll be confused on this part. So we'll keep it simple for ourselves, okay? So that's the 3D part. And then you see there are some rocks, but you don't need to draw them. That's the good thing about this painting. We'll be doing it directly and it will be much, much easier that way, okay? Apart from that, from this same part of the bridge, just draw a line like this. And we'll have the plants right there on top of this space. इस पे plants होंगे, इधर पे भी पूरे plants होंगे. So plants यहाँ पे यहाँ कहीं तक आ रहे हैं. So you can mark it for yourself. And then they are all overlapping on the bridge. Okay. And then we just have the trees. Now just feel free to add the trees without the grid. तो आपको grid पे ध्यान देने की उतनी जरूरत नहीं है. This was the main component of the whole picture, right? The trees can be more random. Just make sure that you keep more space in the central portion because through that the sky is visible. So वो central portion में trees उतने आप add मत करना. On the sides you can add it more randomly. And feel free to follow the grid with me if you want, and feel free to go freely without the grid even if you don't want to follow the grid on the trees. तो tree के बस trunks आप बनाओगे इस तरीके से randomly, and just make sure that the trunks are slightly thinner on the top, slightly thicker at the bottom. So thinner at the top and thicker at the bottom. So जितना space है उसके हिसाब से आप trees create कर सकते हो. Okay, so just check out the space. And as I said, the central portion, keep it little empty because through that we'll show the sky. Okay.
तो जैसे कि विप्रा ने बताया है, आपको जो ट्री के जो ट्रंक्स हैं वो ऊपर से पतले और नीचे से चौड़े रखने हैं.
Yes.
Varsha, if you're not able to hear the voice, I think you can join again because it's audible to rest, I'm sure.
Okay, so what we have done is we've kept the central area empty, but we've kept the side areas with the tree trunks. Central area will show the sky part and it will be like visible through that more. That's why we are doing that. And idhar pe thoda dense hoga, just like it is. So it will give a nice look to this this particular part. Okay, and that's our sketching done actually. I'll wait for you all to finish. I'll give you another minute or so. Meanwhile, Nidhi, if you want to take over, you can go ahead.
Sure. So the sketching part is done, you say, right?
Yes, the sketching part is done. I'll wait for everyone to finish this much. And like I said, trees जो है वो आप random बना सकते हो. So you can just go random with this. So you don't need to exactly see what I am doing at the moment. Okay. So I'll just wait for everyone.
Okay, thank you, Vipra. So as you see, the sketching part is done, and now we will start with the coloring with acrylic colors. So the colors we have although mentioned, but if you don't have any color, we can give you the either you can use the closest color, or you can we will guide you how to make that color. So as I was just telling you, these free sessions we conduct. Catterfly is a social initiative in which we try to support the artists, the native artists, the traditional artists by conducting these workshops and helping them financially, and also to help them grow their the art styles. So we conduct these free sessions so that we can demonstrate the artist's work, and you get to know how the classes are conducted at Catterfly and how the artist takes up the classes they teach in those sessions. So definitely these are with a wider number of people, and it exceeds more than the limit. So that's why we have to close the group. But in the regular classes, we generally, it's an open interactive classes in which you get to speak with the artist. You can show your work, you can show your work in progress, you can take your feedbacks, you can also upload your work in classroom where you can get the detailed feedbacks. So for every for every art form, we have a scheduled calendar for upcoming 3 months, in which you get to see what is coming up in the next quarter, and if you have interest, you can register for any of your upcoming workshop. So I will just take you through that, and I will let you know after this what all sessions are coming up as regular sessions in our Catterfly contemporary calendar. So I've just opened, and I'm sure you must be able to see my screen. So once it loads, I will tell you. See, you can see it from here. At the top, if you can see, art and activities is the second column. And if you click on that, it's just loading. Give me 1 minute. Yeah. So if you click on this art and activities, you will find the entire list, what all is available. Like we do different art forms like Madhubani, Varli, Contemporary, Pichwai, Patachitra, Kalighat, Kerala mural, Gond, miniature, mandana, Mysore painting. So contemporary is one of them, and because we are doing contemporary sessions, so I will take you through the contemporary live workshop calendar, which is June to September 2023. So as I scroll it down, the first one is the Raven Moon by Sally Barrett, which you can see we are doing it currently. We just started this on 8th of June. So it's as you can see, all details are mentioned below the painting, the theme, the dates, the time, the duration, and the price. So if you register for any workshop, you can learn to do that painting. After this, we have this knife painting, fields of gold in sunrise light. As you can see, we will be making the same painting, so we will be recreating it in the class. So it's scheduled on 24th and 25th. Generally the classes for contemporary happens on weekends, and it's like 11:30 to 1:30. So as you can see, it is 24th and 25th, 11:30 to 1:30. It's a 4-hour class, and price is mentioned below this. After this, we have this Hobbit house in gouache paint. So now Catterfly also believes that people learn different mediums and different art styles. So like we were doing acrylic, similarly, this is a different medium, gouache paint. So we will be making this painting in gouache paint. It is starting from 1st of July, and it is till 8th of July, covering the Saturdays and Sundays, 2 hours each. So all details are mentioned below this. After this, you can see the province windmill in watercolors. As you can see, this is another medium which is with watercolors. So if a person is looking to learn different type of mediums, it is the best time. You can choose different paintings of your choice. So this starts from 9th, and it will go up to 16th July, covering the Saturday and Sundays. Then we have this beautiful painting. It's a very colorful painting by Mickey Senkarik, A World of Happiness. As you can see, we will be making this painting, and it will start from 22nd of July till 30th July. After this, we have this watercolor inks and gold leaf work. As you can see, this is a very different typical type of painting, which we will be doing with watercolor inks and gold leaf. So this is on 5th and 6th of August. After this, you can see Goddess Shiv Shakti by Sonali Mohanty. Then we have this Snuggled Up by Mickey Senkarik. Then we have this Lotus Enchantment by Varsha Kharatmal. So these are the original artists which I mentioned after the theme name. We will be recreating the same painting in our class. So this is what the contemporary calendar looks like for the upcoming sessions. So in case anyone is interested to register for any of this, we offer spot discount of 20% on any of these workshops. So that means if you register within these 2 days, you can avail 20% off on this price which is mentioned here. So we will talk about this later too, and meanwhile I'll just wind up, and we'll start with this session again. So I will share the details in the group and the chat box also. Thank you. Vipra, you can continue.
Thanks, Nidhi. So some people are asking questions, and I will go ahead and answer them as well while I'm still painting. So we can talk about that as well. But first of all, let me just tell you about the colors, and then I'll come to the question of the difference between acrylic and gouache. So I have taken out three colors in my palette, as you can see at the moment. So the first color is a permanent blue light, second is a cobalt blue, and the third one is white. And I know that I read some messages saying that you don't have permanent blue light or you don't have any specific color. Right now, we're just giving a wash of colors. Permanent blue light is a very different color altogether. It's very difficult to achieve that shade, but I would suggest that whatever blue you have at the moment, try adding white to it and creating lighter effects with that. And for the darker space, you just use the original blue that you have. So just use a combination of whatever blue you have plus white for the lighter blue, and then use that darker original blue for the darker effects. And we have the white. But the colors that I have on my palette are permanent blue light, cobalt blue, and white. That is what we are going to use to give a wash on the background first before we start with anything else. ठीक है? तो इस तरीके से हम start करेंगे. We'll be adding some water as well to give the wash in the background. And we'll go ahead with that. Anyone having cerulean blue, you can prepare this blue by adding cerulean blue plus white. So cerulean blue plus white se bhi similar color achieve hoga. If you have a process cyan, that will also create similar effect by adding white. Process cyan is a color of Daler and Rowney. If you have that will also create a similar effect. If not, then simply whatever blue you have. So you just mix white into it and just use that color. So for cobalt blue, what blue do you have? I will need to know that. If you have a basic blue, you can use that in place of cobalt blue. If you have teal blue, it can be used in place of this blue. So you can replace this by teal if you have, that also works. Okay, so go ahead, and turquoise plus white will also be okay for this replacement. So you can use a turquoise plus white. So we'll be going ahead quickly. I'm using a flat brush number 12, no, number 10. This is flat brush number 10. I'm going to mix water with the paint when I use this, and take this like this with water. So thoda pani, thoda color like that. And we're giving a wash. Pari is trying to ask question. You're raising hand. You can put your question in the chat box. Abhi pani jaisa color lagana hai because you want to see your pencil lines through this. And another thing is, especially if your grid lines are very, very dark, please erase them. If you see mine are not as dark, but I can still erase them. That's what we do usually. But I can skip this step in this because there'll be layering in this painting. But if you still feel कि आपकी grid lines बहुत dark हैं, तो आप erase भी कर सकते हो. जितनी erase हो जाए उतना अच्छा. So remove any excess of graphite. So just like this, you can remove if you want to. Okay, like this. I can skip on this part, or I can simply just erase as well. क्योंकि I will be able to cover it. But just to show you, इस तरीके से हम grid lines erase कर देते हैं to remove all excess of graphite from our canvas. So you can remove if you want to. Just do a quick turn of eraser on this to remove all the graphite. Okay, and that removes all your graphite from the grid part of it. So इस तरीके से आप easily paint कर पाओगे. And now simply just go ahead and start with the blue wash. तो थोड़ा पानी वाला color, like I said, so that it is little transparent on your canvas. So just take the color there and start painting. If you see, the paint is transparent, which means I can still see my sketch through it. इतना पानी आपको add करना है कि आप उसमें से आपका sketch देख पाओ. You're able to see that sketch, okay? So as you can see my sketch through this as well. That is how we are supposed to give a wash to this one. Now I can either give a whole wash to this. Of course, there's more graphite here, so it's kind of spreading, but you don't need to worry because everything will come from the top, which will cover whatever is happening right now, right? Continue washing out your canvas and make sure that you see your sketch. अगर आपको sketch नहीं दिख रहा है और आपका sketch जो है वो colors के नीचे जा रहा है, इसका मतलब आप सही से wash नहीं कर रहे हो, आप पानी कम मिला रहे हो. So add more water in that case, okay? So we are giving a wash, complete wash to this. So overall, everything is going to go under light blue first. So abhi is moment pe bhi, for those who are like really new to this, you will feel that what's happening. I don't know what I'm doing, but slowly, as you see, we'll do layering work and the look will develop. So initial part is always bit simpler. I would not say simpler. Of course, everything is simple, and this one is like really nice piece to start with. But you will feel that काफी अलग तरीके से we are starting. So we're just giving a base effect. Now the reason why we are giving this base effect is it is important to go in layers when you want to achieve depth. आप first layer से ही अगर bridge paint करना start कर दो तो उतनी डेप्थ नहीं आएगी जितनी आप subsequent layers से achieve कर सकते हो. So you need to have a base effect first so that you're able to cover all the white spaces on your canvas. That is also another reason. Plus,
So Vipra, there's one
subsequent
question.
layers. Yeah.
So there's one question like, can this painting be done with watercolors?
Yes, you can create a similar painting with watercolors, but the difference will be in the whole look that you will achieve, because watercolors have a more subtle effect in them. And if you see, we give more vibrant effect to the acrylic paints. We can use thick acrylic paints, but usually in terms of watercolors, as by the name only, you will understand that more water is added. It is a water-based medium, right? So we add more water, and there are more subtle effects to your watercolors, watercolor painting. So similar you can create, but in a very different effect it will be created. And that
So
reminds
like
me of the
here,
question.
yeah. So So here, like Vipra, like we are using more of water in this. So for this particular step, can we do it with watercolor, and then later we can we can do it with the acrylic? I think the question was this.
You can mix two different mediums if you want to do it. I will not suggest doing it. I always try not to mix two different mediums, because two different mediums have two different properties, and sometimes they can mix up and form a weird effect. Watercolors, as you know, they are not waterproof after, or water resistant after they dry up, right? So when you put your first layer of watercolor and you put a subsequent layer with water, it might disturb your first layer and might not, in this particular painting, might not get you the right effect. So I will say just go ahead with the same medium in one single painting. And especially if you're doing it on a canvas, will be good if you just go with acrylics. Okay. So I hope that answers your question. And someone asked ki watercolor or acrylic or gouache mein kya difference hai? So acrylic jo hai, it dries up and becomes water resistant, while gouache are still not water resistant. Acrylics have a shine to them, and gouache paints have a chalky feel to them. They are more matte in effect as compared to the acrylics. Okay, so I hope that answers your question as well. Perfect. So I hope everyone is giving this wash to the canvas, and I'll give you another minute or so to finish this. Can't catch
I think
up with
this should
my
properly dry up, Viprana, before we proceed.
Yeah, we'll let this settle down for a bit, and meanwhile, everyone who's not able to catch up can also complete this quickly, and then we'll go ahead. In case you're not able to catch up on anything, don't worry, because you always have the recording with you. And this is a shorter session, and our regular sessions are quite long, and you get some time as well, apart from working in the class. So it's ample amount of time. So don't worry. As of now, if you're going slow, you can go slow, and then of course whatever you have missed you can still catch up with the recording, so you won't be missing on anything, so don't worry about that. Yeah, Nidhi, do you want to take over?
Yeah, I think I've already shown what is coming up, and as Vipra was just saying, like these sessions are little like it's only a 3-hour session, but generally in our regular workshops we do a more elaborate, we kind of interaction is there, then we wait, and then we let others finish, and then we give feedback on the paintings and all the work in progress. So obviously those are more detailed, more valuable, and more learning is there in those sessions. So it's highly recommended. If you want to learn properly, you can step by step you should join those sessions. Choice is all yours, because we have different mediums which is coming up, and whichever medium you want to do, you can accordingly you can register yourself.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I would all
So
be yeah. So Vipra has been taking different kind of mediums, and she's taking different type of classes. At the end, or maybe between the session today, I will show you. She will definitely show live what all we have done in the past workshops, and you will get to know how her work is and what all she's been teaching in the classes.
yeah, so we'll show you some of the works that I have handy, which we have done in the past. And yeah, like we said, of course, you will be getting the recording for this session, but our regular sessions are much slower. You have multiple classes for one single theme. So it goes for around like a 1 week class, which is on a Saturday, Sunday, 2 hours each, or it goes for like 2 weeks, 2 hour each on each Saturday and Sunday. So you get ample amount of time, plus you are able to interact with artists, and of course me if you're attending contemporary, or if you're attending any traditional art forms, you're able to speak with the artist yourself and get feedback for your artwork. So it's different in terms of the longer workshops, but looking at the number of people right now who are joining for this session, we keep you on mute, and it's a slightly shorter session, of course. For the price, of course, you can find it on the link which Nidhi will share you for the website. Everything is mentioned on the website for you, so you can check all the details. Okay, so this is settled down now. I hope everyone has covered this. For anyone who is still covering it up, don't worry, you keep going. We'll be adding some depth with the darker color now, and then we'll start over with the sky again. So for the darker color that I've taken out, which is cobalt blue, little water has to be taken with that. So iske comparison mein aap kam pani daloge isme. I'm still using the same flat brush. I've washed it, and I've taken little water along with this, and I'm going to add some color to the water area and towards the top where I want to add, right? So I'll be adding it in the water area right now, and just keep the brush flat. ऐसा रखना है brush इस तरीके से, या ऐसा नहीं करना है. You don't have to do like this. Keep your brush like this. So from towards आपके तरफ से, you'll just keep like this and just move your brush like this in the water to create a slightly darker effect for the water. Later on, we'll come to this. थोड़ा थोड़ा अगर light blue छूट रहा है, it will be good because it will give that effect of water. So just keep adding this for now. Everything we are doing will work in subsequent layers. So हम layers में काम कर रहे हैं. And if you see a little bit of that light blue is still visible through this, but don't worry, it is all good and it will all fall into place. So little water, comparatively less as compared to the light blue. And see how I'm moving the brush, and you just need to move it that way. You can take water if your brush is not moving. अगर आपको ऐसा लगता है कि paint बहुत dry हो रहा है, you can take little more water and then try doing it. Flat brush is important for this, but if you don't have it by any chance, feel free to go with a round brush and still create a similar effect of lines that you see. More like ripples of water, right? But this is more of an abstract, there's more of an abstract feel to it. It's not exactly very realistic in effect, but it will still be very beautiful. Okay, so that's about it. Mix water with your paint so that you're able to move your brush, but only little lesser than your previous color. So I'll wait here for you to finish this part. So show how to move the brush. Yes, you have to keep your brush this way. So आप उसको flat रखोगे, ऐसे नहीं रखोगे पूरा नीचे. This is not rubbing. पूरा पूरा नहीं rub हो रहा है, सिर्फ front part rub हो रहा है. The front part, which is the tip of your brush, this line, बस इतना rub हो रहा है on the canvas. So you're just keeping it like this and taking the color and doing this way. इस तरीके से सिर्फ tip से move करेंगे तो आपको ऐसे ripples type के lines जैसे मिलेंगे, right? So you have to do it that way. I hope that you've understood this. Okay. Perfect. So I'll go ahead and I will be working on the sky. Sky pe you will be working with the light blue and white color. तो आप सेम लाइट ब्लू यूज करोगे, बट अगर बहुत सारा पानी वाला कलर है तो वो थोड़ा सा साइड में करके टेक आउट फ्रेश कलर. I'll be taking color from here. You see, थोड़ा सा thick color now we'll be taking, and we'll be adding that effect on the sky. Now for that effect, we are going to do dab dab effect. हम फ्लैट ब्रश ही यूज करेंगे. आप चाहो तो थोड़ा छोटा ब्रश यूज कर सकते हो. You can use a smaller brush, and we'll be doing dab dab effect. So dab dab the color like this, and that will create the effect that we need in the sky. So I'm going to take this light blue, pick up more color this time, and thicker color. No water as such. थोड़ा सा brush गीला है बस. And you see the amount of color that I have taken. So little more color on your brush, and you're going to do dab dab effect. So we'll start with dab dab effect. See how I'm doing, moving the brush. Just dab dab through this. आपको trees छोड़ के करना. You don't have to do it on the trees. So dab dab. Again, pick up some color if needed. Dab dab. Now we need to mix some white into this. So अभी जैसे ये गीला है, गीले गीले में ही white आपको mix करना है. It has to be wet before you start mixing white. If it has dried up, you won't be able to blend any white with it. So on the same brush, without cleaning the brush, I'm picking up some white. Yeah, and we'll dab dab. So put the white, clean your brush. So white डाला, brush clean किया on a cloth. Extra color निकाल दीजिए white brush से from a cloth, and then again dab dab. What is this doing? This is creating some variation in the sky. थोड़ा सा light effect भी create हो रहा है, right? Again, add some more white and dab dab. This is creating some variation in the sky for us. Try to blend that color a little bit by this dab dab effect. आप blue के ऊपर overlap कर सकते हो. You can overlap it on the lighter blue, the white. So white लो on the same brush. You don't need to wash it. Add the white. Keep adding till the time you're happy with the blending effect. Right? We'll add little more white here. We want a slightly more brighter effect in this part because we are trying to show that there's some light coming in from this part of the sky. And there are no trees overlapping on this part of the sky. So we want little more lighter effect on this part. तो थोड़ा white और add करेंगे. Try to mix it with the blue that you have put so that there is blending. Don't hesitate to go with your white on the blue, because that will help you blend. And keep cleaning your brush when there is excessive mixing happening. तो clean करते रहो brush को और फिर से वापस blending करते रहो. ऐसे करोगे तो अच्छे से blending हो जाएगा color का. Right? And on the lower part, I want you to take little color on from the corner, this cobalt blue corner of the brush. थोड़ा थोड़ा color. And इसको हम थोड़ा थोड़ा इधर लगाएंगे. We'll put it on the lower part and we'll leave it like random plants. जैसे दूर से plants दिखते हैं तो कैसे दिखते हैं? They are like slightly hazy in effect. So slightly hazy effect on the lower part of the sky area. That will create a slight hazy touch to the distant spaces basically. जिससे लगेगा कि plant एक distance पे है, which are not very visible. Okay, so there is the same drill now which you will do throughout the sky area. आप trees के बीच में भी जितनी space है उसमें भी यही करोगे. पहले blue डालोगे, then white डालोगे, and थोड़ा थोड़ा नीचे की तरफ you will add the cobalt blue. So light blue, white and cobalt blue. अभी हम इसी से काम कर रहे हैं. We're just working with the same colors. Okay, so continue And these are all in parts. तो अगर आपका कोई part रह भी जाता है, just in case, you're still able to do it afterwards. So don't worry, okay? So start with blue on the lower part, apply some white from the top, mix them, and then add some blue on the lower part. That is what the drill is. We have to continue throughout the space in the sky, leaving the trees. आपको trees पे नहीं करना है इसको. Just leave the trees and do it, okay? And just in case आप अगर trees पे कर भी देते हो, तो दोनों there are both the ways. You can either do it on the tree or you can leave the space and make the trees later from the top. वो भी ठीक है, कोई problem नहीं है उसमें भी. So apply blue, yeah, and apply some white. ऊपर से थोड़ी ज्यादा light रहेगी, right? Because the light source is from the top, so it's gonna be slightly lighter towards the top portion of it. You can even start with a white and move over to a blue. So दोनों तरीके से कर सकते हैं. So don't hesitate to do so. You can create variation in the sky. The sky is always quite random in effect, and it can have a brighter effect somewhere because of the cloud or the sunlight falling more, and it can have a darker effect where the sunlight is not falling as much. So this and white, and you can blend it. I'm still using the dab feel. अगर आपका tree का जो border है वो थोड़ा सा distort हो रहा है through this effect, don't worry, because we'll be adding the trees from the top, right? Yes, you all are doing the same thing, and I will have a look soon. I can see that you all are doing the right thing. You're dabbing, you're doing dab effect. So I'm able to see your work while I'm still doing. So continue doing that. Keep dabbing and create a brighter effect towards the top of the sky. And then keep mixing. Add white, dab, add light blue, dab. And then one thing which we have not done yet is adding the cobalt blue. So थोड़ा cobalt blue सब जगह नीचे आप add कर सकते हो through the corner of your brush. And again, just do dab motion like this. Yeah, so we are just doing the background effect as of now. Slowly we'll do more layers on this, and that will create the effect that we need. I'm going to go ahead on the left side also, and then I'll wait for all of you to finish this much, okay? So again, blue, white on the top, again blue, light blue, continue dabbing, and white on the top. Easy to do. Just dab the blue on the top, on the base, then go on the on that same brush with white. Don't need to wash your brush or anything, and then just overlap with your white on the blue to create a slight blended touch. So don't hesitate to go from the white to the blue and then back into the white. उसमें कोई problem नहीं है. You can easily blend it that way. Okay.
Vipra, there's a question. Can we do outline with acrylic black color above the pencil work?
You can, yes, that is very much possible, but you have to make sure that the black lines dry up before you start coloring, otherwise everything will mix up. So do the black lines if you're not able to see the sketch. And then in this case, you know, when you want to do a wash and do the sketching part, you can keep your sketch little darker. But if you've done it lighter, that's totally fine. You can do a black line first, let it dry, and then start painting. That should be okay.
Yeah, I think that's very much required. Don't try to be in hurry, because obviously you can't match the artist's speed, because they are doing it many times in a day and they've been making so many paintings regularly. So you give your own time, let it dry, do it at your own space. And if you understand the technique just by watching, you can do that later also, and then maybe you can join us back tomorrow. So recordings will also be there, because same thing is being done in the entire background which is with sky. So
Yeah,
you
it's a
can do
repeated
little.
one, everyone. So yeah,
Ha.
take your
So
time
you
to do
can.
it. Don't rush through it. That's fine.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'll wait for some time after this. And meanwhile, you all can finish this. And Nidhi, whatever you want to take over after this, so that we can wait as well. So we'll give some
Sure,
time
sure.
as well
Sure.
to everyone to complete. But that is what I'm saying कि अभी अगर आपने ये आप नहीं कर पा रहे हो पूरा इसी स्पीड से, डोंट वरी, क्योंकि अभी हम इस पे और काम नहीं करेंगे, तो यू विल गेट एम्पल अमाउंट टुडे एज वेल to finish it before you attend for tomorrow. So that is why you don't need to worry at all. Just go as per your speed and as per your comfort level. Okay. Slowly you will catch up with the speed as well as you continue doing it. So it's very important that if you love doing paintings and stuff, if you do it on a regular basis, the speed increases. And we have observed that in our sessions as well. When someone starts over, the speed is less, but as soon as you can kind of continue over time, it just keeps on increasing because you get more confident while you start painting, right? So it is always the first step that you need to take, and it's okay to lag. And we always provide with the recording, so you are always covered. You won't miss out on anything. Okay, so keep going. I'm sure you're enjoying the process. Continue with blending the colors and creating some brighter effects on the top. I can see that there is less brighter touch on this part. So I'm going to add little more bright effect here with my white so that this becomes little bright in this place. So some more light can come in from this part. Make sure that if you add color from the top later on, like I am doing, by this time the color might have dried up on that part. So you don't directly do it. You either do a dry brushing work, which is a slightly more advanced effect that you should be learning, but make sure that your blue is slightly wet. So अगर आपका blue गीला नहीं है तो आप थोड़ा blue लगाना before you start adding more white if it is needed. So first put some blue and then try and blend, or do some dry brushing work. So which means you don't have to mix any water with the paint and you will be adding this effect. So you see, I've added a little brighter touch here and it looks much better with that brighter effect. And I'm mixing that with the blue. The blue was still wet for me, so it got mixed. And I also utilized some dry brushing effect here, which created a slightly more brighter feeling to it. Okay. Sushma ji, thank you so much. Slowly or acha lagega as we go ahead. So you need to give it some time, especially if you're trying it for the first time or you don't do painting often. Then in that case, you have to give it some time to develop so that it comes to the right look. So always the look will start a bit weird and then slowly develop into a more beautiful effect, because we are working with layers, right? So it does take time to develop an effect. So now this is much better as we've added some more brighter touch to it. And you feel, agar aap dekhoge isko, to aisa lagega ki there's more light coming from this side of the work, right? And there's little less from this side. So you can always create that variation here. Perfect. So I will wait at this point. Meanwhile, you are able to do the sky. Yes, you can do outline with black in case you're not able to see your sketch, but then let it dry before you start coloring, okay? Because drying is very important. Otherwise, all the black will just mix up with everything, okay? So make sure that it dries up.
So Vipra, someone is asking about dabbing. If you can tell on another paper.
Yes. So simply, I will just explain it on another paper. It will be much easier for you to understand. See, if anyone is facing difficulties in blending the color, let me show you. Okay. So just check how you'll blend your colors. For example, I want to blend my light blue and white. I will take the blue. Don't mix much water. Just take thick color. See how much color I've taken. Yeah. Now you put the color, dab, dab. See how you will do. So you're still using the front part of the brush. Dab, 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 like this. Yeah. Once you do this, the color is still wet. जब color गीला है, उसी वक्त आपको second color add करना है जल्दी से. So on the same brush without cleaning, I'm picking up white. I'll pick up white. I'll apply it on a fresh space. But then I will also go on the wet blue. go and it disappears, and then you come back to create a slightly blended touch. You see how that blends? So you start with a fresh space, go on the blue, come back again and see how the blending happens. Then you can clean your brush on a tissue or a cloth again and pick up some fresh white and then go on fresh space to create a much brighter effect. You see the blending? So that is how you would be blending your colors. I hope that is much clearer to you.
Yes, I think it's very much, but in the painting, we are doing it upside down, right? White is up and blue is down.
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
Uh,
this was just a general explanation on the blending process,
yeah.
but of course it is just upside down. So you're going to start with blue and then from the top you're going to blend in the white, but the process still remains the same. So you can even start with white and then start with the blue. That is fine as well. So I can see few of you kind of showing your work, and I think it is going very well. So well done. It's going well. Keep continue with this.
Okay, so she's asking like, do we need to blend fully or leave like abstract?
You can leave abstract. You don't need to blend fully. You can see in mine as well. I'm not really blending everything all together. You see, there is no it is not a very smooth blending. It is just an abstract effect of blending. So in these kind of paintings, it will always be like more of an abstract effect, okay, instead of blending it fully and very smoothly. Okay, that's the beauty of it, and it is much easier and flawless as compared to when you start blending, you have to blend it for a long time. So we won't be taking such scenes in the free sessions, of course, because we have less time. So these abstract effects create beautiful impressionistic effects, and it gives a very beautiful look even when they are not blended very well. And that's what we are doing at this point. Okay, I hope that helps. So yeah, I see some of you showing and you've done wonderful work. Continue with this. Okay, perfect. Now we are left with some cobalt blue. अभी मेरे पास थोड़ा cobalt blue बचा है, but I want to create a much darker effect for the depth. So what I'll be doing with the cobalt blue is I'm going to mix some black into this, little black, to make it little more darker. Okay. Nidhi, is the video clear and are you able to see well? Let me know. Otherwise, I'll enhance the light here. Okay, just let me know. Or anyone
so
in
it's
the
very
chat
clear
can
to me.
Clear, right? Yeah.
And if someone is having any problem, maybe there's some network issue from their end, because I can see very clearly.
Okay, that's fine. So yeah, see the cobalt blue that we have used, we are going to mix some white into it so that it becomes slightly darker. Or if you have Prussian blue, feel free to use a Prussian blue as well. Okay, so anything works. Prussian blue, yeah, फिर cobalt. Just wash your brush completely though. Wash your brush completely so that all the light color goes off, and then just mix some more black with your cobalt. Take black sparingly, and then
you mean either we can use a Prussian blue or we can add a little of this black to the cobalt blue, right?
Cobalt, yes. Either Prussian blue you can use if you don't want to mix a black in this. तो या तो Prussian blue सिर्फ use करो या तो फिर cobalt blue plus black use करो. Anything will work. Any one thing you have to do. Okay?
So where will we be applying this now?
So we'll be applying this on the places where we have plants. So you see, जब भी plants होते हैं या flowers होते हैं, inside of that always has depth क्योंकि it is very dense, right? So the inner part receives less light. So for that we have to do a darker effect, and for this we are going to use the Prussian blue, which we have made either by mixing cobalt and black or simply just original Prussian blue. Okay, so let's start with this. Again, you can take a smaller brush or just continue with this. Even a round brush is okay for this work, but the process is still the dab method. Okay, so you're still going to continue with the dab effect. So how we'll do this? We'll work on this part and we'll add this effect, dab, but we'll not go on the trees. We'll just restrict ourselves to the lower part of this place. तो नीचे की तरफ आपको लगाना है क्योंकि अंदर की तरफ depth होती है, right? So you're just applying it on the lower part of your work instead of doing it on the whole space altogether. Cool. So we'll just do it here. Keep it slightly dark. थोड़ा सा ऐसे imagine कीजिए कि कोई चीज की जब shadow या ऐसा होता है कि light अंदर कम जाती है तो कैसा depth effect होता है, right? It's very dark. That way, that's the color that you need. So keep it slightly towards the darker side. Still dabbing. You can take a smaller brush if you're not comfortable with a bigger one. So we are right now creating the depth with the darker color. Similarly, we are going to do it on the left side as well. So again, dab dab effect on the left side. This is a big space, so you can just literally fill this for now first and then go with dab dab effect on the outer part. Okay, because it's a bigger space, the dab dab effect will come later. Initially, you can simply start filling this and then go with your dab dab touch. Okay, nice and easy. Let's not complicate, just let's fill it simply. And then outer part, dab dab effect like this. Inner part, fill. Outer part, dab dab effect. Okay, keep it simple. Outer part, dab dab. हम dab dab बाहर क्यों कर रहे हैं? Because we want to create a more random feel of the plants coming overlapping on the water area. If you're looking at this picture from here, अगर आप यहाँ से देख रहे हो तो कुछ plants ऐसे लगते हैं ना जो water पे दिख रहे होते हैं हमको, as if they're going outwards. So that's why dab dab effect on the outside and filling effect inside, because later on there'll be overlapping of other things on top of this. So we don't need that effect here. So just fill here. As you come on the lower part, you don't need to dab dab, right? ऐसे ही होगा नीचे भी filling होगी. So only on the top part you have to dab dab. But here it is just filling. Okay. Perfect. And then we'll also go up, creating dab dab touch. तो ऊपर की तरफ यहाँ पे जहाँ पे आपने बनाया था इधर पे भी आप dab dab करोगे. Here it will be dab dab on the outer part. And then inner part again you can fill. This need not be very fine in effect, because it will all be overlapped with the effect that we'll give from the top later on. So you have to do it random, and not very finished effect is needed here. So your speed can be little more as compared to what you would do for more finished effects.
So the recordings of this will be available to you through Classroom. I will just show you in some time how you will access that. And I will request all of you not to share the work in progress in the group, because it will just flow with the flow of the messages. You might like miss out some important information from our end. So you can upload your work in progress in the Classroom under submit your work section, and we will give you the comment and feedback from there only. So I will just show you in some time how you will be able to access that.
Yeah, that's very, very important, everyone, because the work will not be checked on the group. So don't send any WhatsApp photos or anything on the group, because it won't, because there are so many people in the group, your work will be missed. So it will be great if you just use the Classroom, because that's the best way to use all your recordings and the pictures, and also your submissions can be made on that. Okay. So after the class is over, after some time, Nidhi will help you with the link of the Classroom. You can just click on that link and just join the Classroom through that. Okay.
So Vipra, are we waiting for to dry this up?
Yes, we are waiting for some time to let it dry. Meanwhile, if you want to take over.
Yeah, I would just want to show how the Classroom looks like, the link which I will share after this class, how they will be able to access. So, okay, so I will just share my screen and I will show you how you'll be able to see that. So I will be sharing a link in the group after the session gets over in some time. So if you click on that link, you will reach this page. As you can see on my screen, this is Contemporary Art with Catterfly. So it has 4 subheadings: stream, classwork, people, and grades. So once you are on this page, you need to click on the classwork tab. So here you on the left hand side, you will find all the like topics, all the themes we have done so far, which is mentioned here. So obviously right now this is not updated. So once we update, you will find it just below this, know the science, below this one. So here a new tab will be added, and once you click on that, you will get the pictures and videos of the current session. Like for example, I will show you what's going on, then maybe you'll be able to understand. Like if you see, this was Red Stallion, and we did this workshop recently in one of our workshops. Now, if I click on this one second. Yeah, so if I click on this one, you will see it's divided by 4 subheadings. The first one is the theme and description and material list, which has all the details about the theme, like the artist who has done this, like Marcia Baldwin, and then about the concept, the theme, why we have chosen it, the material list, the modules are mentioned there. Below this, you will find the pictures, which is of red stallion, step-by-step pictures are there. And below this, you will find the videos, like this class was finished in 5 different classes. So you will find 5 different videos. And then last is the submit your progress and final work. So if you click on this, then you will be able to, after edit, you will be able to upload your work, and you will be able to see upload option is there. So you'll be able to upload your work. So similarly, if you click on any of you can also see what we have done in the past by clicking any of these. Like we did this feathers with gold. So this was a very beautiful painting we did in the past. I will show you the final image. This one, see. So similarly, all the workshops which we have done so far are mentioned below one by one. So you can see what we have done in the past. And below this, know the science. In some time, we will add the video and pictures of today's session. So you will be able to find that under classroom. So it is advisable to join classroom because you find many other things as well, other than only viewing the video. Like you will find pictures, all these details will be there. Like you can see modules are mentioned here. पूरा detail में आपको सब पढ़ के पता चल जाएगा कौन कौन से colors कब use किए गए हैं. Then videos भी पूरे detail में है, उनके बारे में सब कुछ लिखा हुआ है. So it is advisable that you join these classwork because only video lessons अगर आप YouTube से कर लेंगे तो वो खाली एक रिकॉर्डेड सेशन होगा. सो इसमें आपको बहुत सारी और भी चीजें मिलेंगी. पास में जो वर्कशॉप्स हमने करी हैं वो देखने को मिलेंगी, प्लस इसके बारे में भी बहुत इंस्ट्रक्शंस मिलेंगे. सो आई विल शेयर द ग्रुप the link in the group after we are done with this session. So you can refer from that and you can join the classroom.
Yes, so that's great info, Nidhi, because classroom is really, really important, and it has all the information, and it's not scattered, so it's very, very organized, and you can easily find all the information on it. You don't have to go anywhere but just the classroom. Okay, perfect. So I hope everyone has seen the classroom and you've understood the concept of it. Very, very easy to understand. We'll be continuing with this now. I hope you have reached till this place. You have got ample amount of time while you were also looking at the classroom. So now we are going to add some color to the trunk of the trees. For the trunk of the trees, we are going to use a mauve, or a deep magenta can also be used, but I'll be using a mauve in combination with some black. So mauve plus black, or a deep violet plus black. Okay. So violet type का shade, कोई dark shade हो तो आप वो ले सकते हैं. If you don't have it by any chance, you can mix a darker shade of blue which you have. So maybe a Prussian or a cobalt blue. Prussian will be the best. So Prussian blue plus red, crimson red, या जो भी red आपके पास हो, mix both the colors together and keep more quantity of blue, less quantity of red. So maybe if you're using one part of blue, you are just adding less than half a part of red in it. Okay, so blue plus red आप mix करके भी बना सकते हो, या simply if you have a mauve, take out mauve and with that we'll mix little black. So I'm taking mauve here. That's a deep violet kind of shade, darker shade of violet, and little black. So I have some black on the side. I'm going to take that itself, and I'm going to take a thinner brush. So I'm taking a number 1 round brush this time. तो 1 number का मैं round brush use कर रही हूँ, but अगर आपके पास 1 नहीं है, 2 है, तो आप 2 भी use कर सकते हो. So closest size to what I'm using, you can use, or you can use it as per your comfort level. आप उसमें कितना कौन से नंबर के ब्रश से फिल कर पाते हो उस हिसाब से आप ब्रश ले सकते हो. So I'm taking this little darker effect here, and I'm going to mix this into this mauve. You have to make the mauve much darker because we want a darker effect first before we add a brighter effect to the trunk of the trees. Okay, so थोड़ा सा black मैं निकाल ही लेती हूँ. I'm just going to take out some more black and mix it together, form a darker effect, but it should not completely turn into a black color. Okay, so it should have the mauve effect in it. उतना ही add करना, थोड़ा थोड़ा add करना, and then gradually increase. Add some water. You can add some water with the paint so that your brush moves smoothly. And then pick up this color that you have. You don't have purple, mix red and blue. So mix a red and a darker shade of blue to achieve this shade. Okay, so crimson red plus Prussian blue, great combination. You can try and using this to see if you can achieve this shade. So Prussian blue ज़्यादा रखिएगा One part maybe of Prussian blue and maybe just less than half of the red. That should get you to the shade. So we are going to fill this in the tree. Okay. Probably I can use a slightly thicker brush, I feel, but let's continue. Maybe, and later I'll change it. So what we are doing right now, we are just simply filling color in the trunk. तो जितनी भी trunk दिख रही है आपको, उसमें आपको ये shade जो आपने बनाया है, वो आपको simple filling करनी है, plain filling of colors. Okay, you can move the paper or canvas according to your convenience in the direction that you feel comfortable, and just simply fill the trunks for now. Perfect. Keep going. Again, make sure that your trunks of the tree are slightly thicker towards the base, slightly thinner towards the top. Acha, one more thing that should be considered here is the trees will also be visible through the bridge, क्योंकि bridge जो है वो wooden bridge है, उसके अंदर भी जगह है, right? So थोड़े थोड़े जो bridge के ऊपर trees हैं, उनको आप थोड़ा थोड़ा नीचे लेके आ सकते हो, till at least this level, till this level where I am erasing. इस level तक नीचे ला सकते हो आप थोड़ा सा. This is violet, या mauve, whichever shade you have closest to violet, with little black. Okay, someone is asking which color, so it is mauve plus black that I'm using. Mauve is a shade similar to deep violet kind of shade. So I'm getting it till this part of the bridge because they will be visible through the places in between the bridge, right? Idhar pe koi trees nahi hai. Here we have the trees then. So leave the central portion and continue through this. You need not be very fine doing this. Again, this is again the initial layer of your tree and there'll be more effect, but just try to color with inside the lines, of course. Don't go outside the lines of your tree.
So Vipra,
Tree
this
trunk.
is mauve plus black.
Mauve plus black, yes. This is mauve plus black. Violet का जो भी आपके पास shade हो, उसमें आप black add करके इसको कर सकते हो. So this is not the same color that we did here. It might look same or similar in the image in the video, but it's very different in look as compared to that. I can make out that this is more towards the violet side and I can make out that this is more towards the blue side. Okay. So try doing violet. अगर violet नहीं है तो मैंने आपको बताया है कैसे बनाना है. You have to mix your Prussian blue या जो भी dark blue आपके पास हो. Mix it with crimson red or any shade of red. Crimson is preferable to get to a similar shade. Okay, so mix blue and red and prepare your shade. Blue ज़्यादा होना चाहिए, red कम होना चाहिए. This is from the cooler tones, right? The cooler shades or the cooler family, right? So the blue will always be more. The warmer shades, अगर कोई warmer shade बना रहे हो तो उसमें warm shade का quantity ज़्यादा होगा. इसमें ये the violet belongs to the family of cooler tones. So that's why the quantity of blue will be more. Very simple concept. Okay. Nice and simple. Just keep going with the plain coloring of the trunks. Keep it nice and easy for yourself. Don't complicate it and add little more water so that you're able to stretch your brush to a longer distance for coloring. Little more water. Transparent turn nahi hona chahiye. Just little water so that you're able to stretch it. Perfect. Keep going.
So don't worry if you're not getting it right in the first time. Don't worry and just follow the instructions. You can definitely, with more of practice, you will get the same effect. So don't get disheartened if you're not getting the same effect. You're not able to do in the same way.
Thank you so much, Rekha ji. Yeah, so it's a learning process, and of course, it won't be same in the first go. It is fine if it is slightly different. Your artwork should have your own touch in it, right? So it is okay if you create it slightly differently. Okay, so keep it, just do it with, like, keep your mind calm and do it for the process of enjoying it first before you even start learning. If you start enjoying what you're doing, you'll be able to learn better. Okay. So just try and enjoy the process. This is just a learning process. You're not going to use this painting for an exhibition, right? So you're just creating it for yourself, your own happiness. Just think about that and keep going. Fevicryl acrylic color will do, yes. Fevicryl acrylic color are good. You can use that. You can use a camel. You can use Trustro. They are nice. You can use them. So I'm not promoting any brands here, but I'm just trying to say that you can use these colors. I have used them before and they're good. So they work. You can also use Daler and Brownie or any local parts, local companies as well if they work well for you. Okay.
So working with different mediums and different styles is what basically we try to do in the classes. So as I was telling you, with acrylic, we do knife painting as well, normal acrylics. Then we do watercolors, we do wash paints. We do it with this different watercolor inks, pencil colors. So we have done many classes in past, and I think someone in the group was asking if we can do some human figures. We have done many human figures as well in the past. We have done many sceneries, many floral paintings. So all you can find in the classroom. Once you scroll down, you can see whatever is available what all recordings are there. All are available for sale. And as I told you, you can avail spot 20% discount if you choose and register for any of those or the upcoming workshops within these 2 days while the workshop is happening. So I think this is the best time to choose and learn, because you might not get that offer very frequently in the near coming months.
Perfect. So yeah, go ahead and do that. Try attending one workshop and see how you feel about it. And then you can um, go ahead and try more if you like. This color that you might have a question, what color I'm doing. So this color I'm doing is the same color that I was left with here. So this same color that you filled in this part, the plants part, right? Dark blue, which was a mix of blue, cobalt blue and black, or simply Prussian blue. You can fill it here as well. So fill the same color. And this is for the depth effect of the bridge. So that's what you're going to fill in this part. यहाँ पे light नहीं पहुंच रही है, of course, because it's the lower part of the bridge, right? So that's why it has a darker effect to it. So keep it more dark. अगर आपका ये थोड़ा light भी लग रहा हो तो इसको थोड़ा dark ही रखना. तो आप black ज़्यादा use कर सकते हो. You can use little more black in this if you want. Okay.
So Gautami wants to know which paint did you use. So I think the question is not very clear, but still this is acrylic. And if you want to know the shade, this is the same color which we use for the base of the
Here.
plants, cobalt blue plus black.
Yeah, cobalt blue plus black or simply Prussian blue. और अगर आपका Prussian blue बहुत light है तो आप उसमें थोड़ा black add कर सकते हो फिर भी. So if you're adding water and it's getting lighter, add some black in it and add this here. So it should be dark. ये वाला area dark होना चाहिए. And very simple. अगर कुछ भी समझ में नहीं आ रहा तो जितने dark colors हैं palette पे उसको mix करके एक अच्छा dark effect बनाओ और उसको यहाँ डाल दो. Very very simple. Okay. Perfect. So I hope this is going well for all of you. And I think you must be doing this part as of now. For those who are following along, if you're lagging also, that is okay. I'll just wait for 1 or 2 more minutes, and then we'll go ahead. Maybe how much time are we left for today?
Yeah. So I was just saying we are just about to, we should wind up because it's already 1.
Yeah. We'll do just one last thing with the color left, and then we'll wrap up for the day after this. Yeah.
Sure. So, Vipra, before we wind up, maybe tomorrow then we can do that. I wanted you to show your paintings. So that
I have some handy
if
everyone has. Yeah, if everyone has like 2-3 minutes, we can go ahead with few paintings and then few I can show tomorrow. Yeah.
You can do it right now and then maybe you can do the leftover part.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. That is fine as well. So, Nidhi, meanwhile, you can send a picture so that everyone follows along as well. So if you want to just take a screenshot and send it on the group.
Sure. I will do that. So I have asked and requested Vipra to keep her paintings handy, the paintings which she has created in the Catterfly workshops. So she will just be showing us those paintings live, if you can see what all we have done and how well and beautiful these paintings look from Vipra's own palette. So she will just take us through them, and she just tell us, Vipra, about the mediums used, and maybe
Yeah.
the challenges people face, something like that.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. So for today's medium, I'm going to show you some which I've created with acrylics and one that we have created as a mandala. It was a 3D mandala that we had created with watercolors. I'm going to show you those, and then tomorrow I'll come up with more mediums that we have done and show you those mediums
Sure.
as well. Okay. So for a very beautiful one, which we are doing a similar one in the future as well, which we have done was a Maharashtrian lady, right, from Varsha
Yeah.
Kharatmal. That was a very hit workshop and people loved it. This is the one that we created, right, in our workshop. And
Yeah,
the
yeah.
painting
So
for the participants also turned out really well for this one, and people enjoyed this one. So
definitely.
this
So
is
this was
one.
one painting we did. I think this is with acrylic colors, right, Vipra?
This is with acrylic colors, yes. And
Ah.
if we talk about the challenges faced in this one, Nidhi, the main challenge was human figures because they are slightly difficult to make, right?
Hmm.
But with the methods
But
that we've done in
yeah,
the workshop, people were easily able to do this, and it turned out really well for so many participants. And we'll
definitely.
probably be showing you some participant work too soon.
So yeah, I think you all must be wondering, so how is it, how people can learn in offline classes? So, oh, sorry, online classes, but I will get you introduced to few people tomorrow who will explain you how beautifully the artists at Catterfly, they explain, and they are able to learn from them, and how beautiful they create their own paintings. So as you can see, this was done in one of the Catterfly classes, and after this, the
After this,
next
we
one,
had this one.
yeah.
This was a
So this
mother
is
and
another
a
beautiful
child
painting.
in
This
acrylics.
was
Yeah.
by Nilofer Wadia, right? Mother
Yes,
and
this was
child.
the original artist is Nilofer Wadia. We've recreated that in our workshop.
Yes, yes. So this is
Yeah.
again with acrylics. As you can see, this is another
Yes.
human figure, and we have done it in the classes. So recording of all of them are available to purchase. So let me know if you're interested to register for any.
Yeah.
Yes,
And the
Vipra.
next one is this one that we recently did. This is the
Yeah,
Asimov work, which we have created in knife in our recent workshop. And it has turned out very well for so many participants. I've seen their work and they're
true,
doing
true.
so well. Yeah.
True, true. So
And
this is like knife and brush and knife painting. We did guitar and flowers. So if you can see this, it was very beautifully created, and we have just done completed it in the last week only.
yes.
So yeah,
Yeah. And this one is another one which we did for Venice. And
true, true.
this is another knife painting in a combination of brush effect. So this is another one that we did.
So as you can see, this
Yeah.
looks to be so real and so beautiful. So this was again taught and created in the Catterfly class workshop. And this was a beautiful workshop which was taken up by many participants, and they've completed their work, and we've posted in our social media as well. You can check them to see the participant work.
And then we have the last one coming for today, which is the 3D mandala that we did in watercolors, and it did come out quite well as well. So this one as well.
Yeah. So this is another medium which we use, 3D mandala. I think this is also with acrylic only, right?
No, this is with watercolors and
Acha,
micron pens
watercolors.
was
Okay, okay.
the yeah
Okay,
micron
okay.
pens and
Yeah, yeah. So
watercolors. Yeah.
it is giving a 3D effect. If you can see, that was again taught and created in one of our Catterfly class. So recordings available for sale. So if you can see, Vipra creates different kind of works, and we'll try and show you some more work maybe tomorrow, right, Vipra?
Yes, tomorrow we'll see some work in gouache as well that we have done, and maybe some
Yeah,
pencil work as well that we have done.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. We'll see that as well. So one last thing for today, everyone, and we will wrap up for today. So you have ample amount of time to do your work till here when we join tomorrow. So let's take just one thin brush. I'm taking number one round brush again, and I'm just going to add some effect to the trees for some brighter touch in this part. So we are going to take the same color that we were using for the tree, right? The darker one, and mix some white into it. So take white on one side, take that same color of the tree, mix them together to create a lighter touch now. So a lighter effect, right? And don't mix too much water. Pani zyada nahi add karna hai isme. Sirf gila brush you can use, just wet brush. Just try to use that. And we're going to add some effect on the trees right now. So you're going to go on the left side because it seems like There is some source of light from the left which is making the tree brighter. No water as such to be mixed. So same color, for repeating the color, same color जो आपने tree में mix किया है, tree में fill किया है, उसमें आप white add करो. So add white in the same color to get to this shade. तो जो आपने tree में ये dark color fill किया, उसी में white add किया and use that color now. Don't add too much water. Dry brush रखना है थोड़ा थोड़ा. So dry effect basically and very rough effect on the left side of the tree. Leave it randomly for now. Okay. Thoda random effect hai on the left side of the tree. Just use a thin brush to add a little brighter touch to your tree on the left. We'll do it on all the trees. So what we are trying to show here is that there is an effect of light that is coming in this part from the left side, which is making our trees slightly brighter here and there, especially on the left part of it, right? Of course, because the source of light is to the left. If you're facing troubles in moving your brush, you can add little bit of water in it, just in case if you find it difficult just with a dry brush. So no
to everyone
compulsion.
who is confused with the color, it is the same color, mauve plus black, which we've used in the tree. Now to give this lighter effect, we have added a bit of white to that. So it's if you see here, it's a combination of mauve plus black plus a tinge of white to make it a little lighter. Right, Vipra?
Remember we did the mauve plus black shade combination in this tree. जो हमने tree में color fill किया था mauve और black को mix करके, right? वो color मेरे पास बचा हुआ था. उसी में I have added some white to make it lighter so that we can add some brighter effect on the left side. So it's the same color of the tree trunk जिस जो fill किया उसमें ही white add कर दिया है. That is the color that I'm using. Okay. So I've added this on the left side as you can see. And जैसे ही आप ये ऐड करोगे सारे ट्रीज में, उसके बाद व्हाइट भी लेफ्ट साइड पे थोड़ा थोड़ा ऐड करना है टू मेक इट मोर ब्राइटर. ठीक है, तो ऑन द लेफ्ट साइड ऑफ द ट्री, वंस यू आर डन विद दिस लाइटर मॉव शेड, यू कैन पिक अप व्हाइट. अगेन डोंट ऐड मच वाटर, थोड़ा सा ले सकते हो चाहो तो, इफ ब्रश डजंट मूव. थोड़ा व्हाइट लेंगे एंड थोड़ा थोड़ा व्हाइट भी ऐड करेंगे टू मेक इट लिटिल मोर ब्राइटर. तो पहले ये लाइट मॉव ऐड किया, फिर उसी के ऊपर से थोड़ा थोड़ा व्हाइट का इफेक्ट ऐड किया. Of course, the leftmost tree will be very bright because it is the closest to the source of light. Correct? तो इसको हम थोड़ा ज्यादा bright बनाएंगे और धीरे धीरे जैसे जैसे हम उस साइड जाएंगे towards the right, our trees will become, I mean, this brightness can reduce a little bit because light is reaching little less on that part. तो यहाँ थोड़ी ज्यादा रखेंगे white को, और जैसे जैसे we'll move on the right side, we will reduce on the white effect. And you see, as soon as you add that white, it brightens up the look a little bit more for the painting. So slowly you will see that as we add more layers, it will turn out more and more beautiful. So now reducing on the effect of light towards the right side. So comparatively, अब मैं थोड़ा कम करूंगी on the right side trees. ठीक है? So on the right side trees, we'll do little less. So all the residual color that is there on your brush, you can use that for the last tree, thoda sa kam. Okay, so that creates a nice bright touch to the trees, and you see how beautiful the trunks look once we add the white. Before white, we have added the same color of the tree plus white. So same color of the tree जो आपने mauve और black mix करके बनाया था, उसमें white add करोगे to make a lighter shade of that. Use that first and then use the mauve. Then use the white, sorry.
So if you're facing any problem, you can refer the recordings. We are just winding up in few minutes. You will be able to refer from there. We've just explained everything in detail, how to use and which color has been used.
Perfect. So with this, I think we are done for the day.
Okay.
And we'll be coming back tomorrow to finish this one.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Vipra. I will share the link in some time in the class, in the WhatsApp group. You can click the link and you can enter the classroom. You'll find all the videos and pictures of the session there. And tomorrow we will continue from here and we will be completing the picture. Meanwhile, if the offer is open to all, if you take any register for any workshop for the upcoming work, the calendar or any video lesson, you will be able to avail 20% off on the published price. So with this, we wind up today's session. See you all in the session tomorrow. Thank you, Vipra.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Take care and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Okay,
Bye.
thank you. Bye.